The take operator accepts a number of values you define from the source before completing. Let's start with a basic example, just creating a stream of numbers using the of creation operator. Let's start by importing of from RxJS. Next, let's create a variable called numbers to hold the number stream. And we'll just have it emit the numbers 1 through 5. Now, let's subscribe and just log the emitted values to the console. As expected, 1 through 5 is logged in sequential order. So if instead of all values, what if we only cared about the first so many? To handle this scenario, we can use the take operator. Let's go ahead and import take now from rxjs/operators. Next, we'll call the pipe method, passing it the take operator. Take accepts a value, which is the number of values to accept from the source before completing the observable. For the first example, let's just take the first 3 values. To see that our observable is completing, let's update the subscribe method, adding a complete callback. So for the next method, we'll just keep it as a console.log, but on complete, let's just log complete. Now, when I save, we can see that our observable now emits the first 3 items before completing, which is represented by this complete being logged. Now, let's check out another example with events. So, let's suppose that anytime the user went to a page, we want it to log the location of their first click. Let's see how we could do this using the take operator as well as map. Since we know we need a stream of click events, we can import the from event creation operator. We'll also import map, since we know we will want to transform this stream to emit the click location. Next, let's create a constant for the click stream. Remember, from event accepts the target and the event that you want to create a stream from. So we're just going to supply the document, and the event we want is click. Now that we have our click stream, let's swap it out with the number stream. Next, let's add the map operator before take within the pipe method. Each time a value is emitted, we want to transform the stream of clicks into a stream of x and y coordinates. To do this, let's return an object from map, grabbing the client x and client y properties. Now, instead of taking the first 3 values emitted, let's just take the first 1, since we are only concerned with the first click on the page. Let's run this, and we can see that the first time we click, the x and y coordinates are emitted, and the observable completes. The last thing I wanted to cover in this lesson is the first operator. If you run into situations where you want to take one value, like we did with our mouse click, but you want this to be dependent on some logic, the first operator can help solve this use case. Let's go ahead and import it now from rxjs/operators. The first operator accepts an optional predicate function, and when supplied, it's really a shortcut for filtering for that condition, then taking one value. For our example, let's take the first click that has a y coordinate greater than 200. First accepts a predicate expression, the same as filter. We'll use parameter destructuring to grab the y property. And we only want to return true if y is greater than 200. When I run this, clicking higher on the page causes no values to be emitted. As soon as I click lower, our coordinate object is emitted and the observable completes. To recap, take emits a number of values from the source observable you specify before completing. If you decide to take one value, you can instead use first with no arguments as a shortcut. Or if you want to take the first value that passes a predicate expression, you can supply this function as an argument to the first operator.